I knew that it was just my time to go out there and shine.
As the number of mats dwindled and the lights began to dim,
I had to wait the whole day, so I just wanted to wrestle.
Grandview's wrestling stars began to shine bright.
I felt good, but I knew that job wasn't finished.
The Wolves wrestling team was returning hungrier than ever this year, with a third-place team finish and 5 of 6 returning state placers, including a returning state champion from last year, helped the team stay optimistic.
I felt like as a wrestler, I've gotten way better, especially for the last year. I thought for sure I was going to win it. And I knew it was going to be hard, but I thought I could win it. I was happy having a better year than I did last year. I mean, I did better at every single tournament this year. Like, I won every single Colorado tournament last year. And last year I only won 1 tournament the whole year. And this year, before state, I had like won 5. And I just felt like I had an overall way better year. But I feel like my main goal was to win state.
Coming into the season, freshman year I got 6th. My sophomore year I got 2nd. So coming into the season, I told myself that I just kept leveling up, so the only place to go now was 1st. I definitely kept telling myself that 3rd time was the charm.
I knew I was going to come back, crying in the stands after losing, and just so much hard work, so much determination this last year. This is the hardest I've worked by far in my whole life, so excited.
For Leland Day, Jonathan Montez Gonzalez, and J.R. Ortega, who were 3 of the 5 returning state placers from last year, this season was an opportunity to grow. But for Charlie Herding, who won the 165 weight class and was Grandview's first wrestler to win a state championship since 2019, there were other records he was eyeing.
I would say I had them pretty high. This upcoming season, I was going to break hopefully some records in terms of like the pins and the wins. Ultimately, in terms of that part, I did. I currently have both the pin and win record for high school. And I think I'm 2nd in the state for pins, which is nice.
At the first tournament of the season, Charlie collected his 100th career pin, a feat only accomplished by 17 other wrestlers in Colorado high school wrestling history.
Exhilarating. It was one of the best feelings. Like getting 100 wins is something I'd say maybe like 1/3 of wrestlers do in general. But getting 100 pins is something I'd say maybe a 10th. Not even that. Like, not that many people do. And the fact I almost got up to I'm almost at 140. I think I'm 136, which is up there, which is amazing.
The beginning part of the Wolves season began on the road in Reno, Nevada for the highly touted Reno Tournament of Champions, where Grandview finished top 10 in the nation.
That one was exciting, really exciting, especially since on the backside after I lost in the semis. Lost in the semis, I had 3 dudes from the same club back to back to back. And I beat them all, pinned them, I believe, yeah.
What I learned at Reno was that you can't take no time off. Over the summer, I left to Mexico for the whole thing, and I only came back to start training for preseason, and all of my buddies, all of my competitors, they had all been training all summer. So I think that's what made the difference in Reno, because the previous year, my sophomore year, I placed 6th at Reno, and then I didn't place this year. So I definitely saw the difference that taking a break took.
I learned that aggression is the key, because you gotta learn sometimes that sometimes it's best to like step back and watch what he does and react. Then sometimes it's best to put the burners on and beat the hell out of him.
As the Wolves cruised through the rest of the season and were able to qualify 11 wrestlers after regionals, and had 6 wrestlers get through to the 2nd day semifinals.
That was a good finals match. I mean, the kid's obviously going to throw everything he's got, but I really expected to come into this tournament and dominate to the highest point that I could. So that was my expectation.
The whole week I was just super anxious, and I was so excited for state. I couldn't think it, and especially when I got to that day, I was like, damn, I just want to wrestle already. And once that day was gone, I felt way better. I was like, all right, now I'm in position to go win it.
Coming into Thursday, I was a little nervous because they switched up the schedule. Usually we wrestled one match on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and 1 on Saturday if you went through. But this year you wrestled 2 on Thursday, 1, so I got a little nervous. My coaches always say next score mentality. Focus on the next 10 to 15 seconds. Don't look ahead 2-3 minutes.
For JR, Jonathan, and Leland, getting to this point felt good, but the job wasn't done.
Going into that match, I had beat them previously 2 weekends ago, but Pomona's a good school. They have a good program. They have a good system. Going into the first period, I knew I was gonna win. And that continued through. There was no doubt in my mind, but it did get a little difficult because they scouted me. He was stopping my first, second, and third move on top, bottom, and neutral. So I had to resort to moves that I don't usually do to be able to pull through.
It was a great feeling. I knew that I was going to go out there and get the job done, but I was just more excited to compete today. You know, cutting weight after my match last night was just so easy because you know that you got a state title right in front of you to go get. So
I don't want to say like I'm the comeback king, but a lot of my big matches I've started down. I come up slowly, ticking at their shield, our coach says, like you're in Fortnite.
The whole state tournament, it was the biggest highs and the lowest lows. I mean, like that was probably one of the happiest I've felt in a while, knowing I just made it to the state finals.
I felt good, but I knew that job wasn't finished. Last year I was thrilled to have won my semis match. This year it was you could say it was expected to.
For Charlie, getting back to the state championship match proved difficult.
At state, I knew it was going to be hard, especially coming in as a returning state champ that wasn't first seed. For some reason, I knew it was going to be, I'm going to have the harder semis match, which I did. I was dominating in the first for the most part. I took out the takedown, then it was reversal, then reversal, I think. Then going into the second, it was just a reversal fest. We just kept changing over, which led to, I think going into third, I was up 8-6. Then going into third. Then third, we ended 8-8 going into overtime, which I was on bottom, and he caught me in I believe it was an arm bar, and he nearly pinned me, but I got out, ending the match with me losing it 12-8. I was disappointed in myself. Despite leaving it all on the mat, no matter what anyone says, I'm gonna be feeling that for a while. That match is gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. Yeah.
And Charlie moved his way back into a position for third place. He kept the semifinals loss in the back of his mind.
Going into the third, fourth match, I was mad. I was mad at myself because I knew I had more I could have given it. But no, yeah, my anger was definitely the main fueler for those two matches today. Like going into it, I knew, like that was my third time beating him this season. After the third, I'd say it was exciting for the most part. Despite not being out there tonight, I got the next best thing, I'd say.
Still, Grandview had put 3 of their wrestlers in position to win state, the most in the past 10 years of any Wolf squad. For Leland Day, Grandview's heavyweight, he earned himself a chance to beat Fruita Monument's Tatum Williams.
I could have wrestled better. I didn't get off bottom. He got off bottom. I wasn't able to take him down. So he out-wrestled me. That whole last period, I still thought I could win the state title. I mean, I was looking for a takedown. And then I gave up the takedown, like, dang it. Up until the very end, I was in the match, and then I just didn't go my way, you know.
Leland came just about a minute away from capturing the state title, losing by a 4-0 decision, the thinnest of margins.
I was sad. I was disappointed. Kind of defeated a little bit. I was like, I don't know. I was very sad. I'll just let you know. It was a sad night. I just said, congrats, bro. Yeah, I just told him great tournament, congrats.
Ortega of Grandview.
In the 113, J.R. Ortega was up against another Fruita Monument Wildcat in Kel Unrain.
And coming into this match, I knew that how that kid was going to wrestle. I had game plan, so I knew that he was going to, try to play the edge and keep it close, but I knew that it was just my time to go out there and shine. I just told myself just to stay calm. I've been in situations like this before. I've been in big time moments, so this isn't nothing new to me, and I know that I'm going to go out and get the job done.
As the seconds ticked away, J.R. Ortega etched his name in not only Grandview, but Colorado high school wrestling history.
This has been my dream since I was 6 years old, and my dad took me to the Pepsi Center for the first time, so a lot of emotions, a lot of hard work, especially after falling short last year. Just so blessed, grateful for the opportunity, all glory to God. So grateful to have my family behind me. I got the best people behind me, the best coaches. It's all in the G, baby. So, I'm just so grateful.
Jonathan Montez Gonzalez.
As JR's state championship was booked, Jonathan Montez Gonzalez prepared for his match against Arvada West Austin Udalay, a guy who he lost to 2 times earlier by fall this season.
I definitely kept telling myself that third time was the charm. I was gonna get him today. Third time was the charm for everything. Junior year, third time wrestling him. I really thought I was gonna get him. Going into that first period, he took me down, I escaped, 3-1. I knew I thought I was gonna win. And then going into the second period, I was down 6-3 when he chose bottom. And like I said, next score mentality. I was focusing on keeping him down first to be able to score my points. I was able to get 2 points, which put me 1 point short.
With just 10 seconds left, Jonathan was down only 1 point and getting into position to score himself another 3.
On those last final seconds, I had his wrist. I thought I was gonna be able to roll, but as soon as I start rolling, it slips. And you can't hit that move if you slip, so I had to reset, try hitting it again, and by the time I got it again, the time was up. And it was like my biggest nightmare.
And as the final whistle blew, Jonathan came that short from wrestling more.
Last year, I was satisfied to get second. Like I said, going from 6th to 2nd. But this year, I didn't feel good.
While Grandview celebrated one state champion in J.R. Ortega and hailed another 2 runners-up, Charlie and Gunnar Lopez finished 3rd, and Braxton Woodrickus and Oz Nowick finished 5th and 6th respectively in their weight classes. All in all, this season could be called a success.
Yeah, I think it was a great season. I mean, next year's going to be better. I'm just going to let you know.
I was still accepting the process that I was only going to have 10 more minutes on the mat, and it was going through my head a little bit.
One of my teammates says that the sun's gonna rise the next day whether you win or lose, so I just gotta get back to work tomorrow.
Even if I didn't do good at state, that doesn't define the whole season as a whole. It just defines the end of it. I did good this season, and I think let's just say this, I'm proud that this was my last year.
Although the achievements and on paper, it shows that I decreased a little bit from last year, but I learned how to control my mental battles, and then what not to do next year.
Congratulations to all of our wrestlers. This is Jake Chau reporting for GVTV.